The day Deathworlders stopped playing nice, a legend every species remembers. Ambassador Zektar's gill slits fluttered nervously as he reviewed the diplomatic briefing for the 100th time. The crystalline datapad trembled in his webbed fingers, displaying the same impossible information that had sent shockwaves through the Galactic Confederation 3 cycles ago. Species, Homo sapiens. Classification, Deathworlder. Status, requesting full membership. Every civilized species knew about Deathworlders, those unfortunate beings who evolved on planets so hostile that survival itself was an aberration. They were pitted, sometimes studied, but never taken seriously in galactic politics. Their worlds were too dangerous, their lifespans too short, their biology too fragile for meaningful contribution to advanced civilization. The humans had been no exception. When their primitive radio signals first reached Confederation space, xenobiologists had catalogued them with detached fascination. A species that required constant atmospheric pressure, whose homeworld teemed with predators, whose very evolution was driven by catastrophic mass extinctions. Fascinating, but ultimately irrelevant. That assessment had held for 300 standard years, until the day everything changed. Zektar's predecessor, Ambassador Velnash, had been conducting routine diplomatic contact with the human colony on Kepler 442b when the emergency transmission arrived. The hegemony of Scar, the Confederation's most militaristic member species, had declared war against the peaceful Orlani Republic. It was expected to be a swift conquest. The Scar possessed superior technology, overwhelming numbers, and a ruthless efficiency that had conquered 17 star systems in the past century. The Orlani had sent a desperate plea across all channels, begging for intervention. The Confederation's response had been predictably bureaucratic. Lengthy debates, committee formations, and ultimately, strongly worded diplomatic protests that the Scar ignored entirely. Then something unprecedented happened. The humans responded. Not their government, they were still decades away from developing faster-than-light travel. It was a single human vessel, somehow commandeered and retrofitted with stolen Confederation technology. The ship's manifest listed its crew as volunteers, though later investigation revealed they were mostly discharged military personnel and what humans termed scientists with questionable ethics. Admiral Thane Morrison's voice crackled across subspace frequencies that day, broadcasting on all hegemony channels. This is the UES determination. You have exactly 24 hours to withdraw from Orlani space, or we will make you. The Scar High Command had laughed. Their fleet numbered in the thousands. This single Deathworlder vessel was a curiosity at best, a minor annoyance at worst. They stopped laughing when Morrison's crew began their work. Humans, it turned out, had spent their entire evolutionary history learning to survive on a planet that actively tried to kill them. They had developed an intuitive understanding of systems warfare that left the galaxy's finest military strategists speechless. While other species built weapons designed to destroy enemy ships cleanly and efficiently, humans built weapons designed to make enemy crews suffer and surrender. The determination didn't engage the Scar fleet directly. Instead, it began systematically targeting infrastructure, communication relays, supply depots, medical stations. But it was the psychological warfare that truly devastated the hegemony. The humans broadcast detailed anatomical studies of Scar physiology, explaining exactly how their improvised weapons would affect enemy biology. They described scenarios that would leave victims alive but incapacitated, conscious but helpless. Within 18 hours, half the Scar fleet had deserted. Within 48, the hegemony formally requested a ceasefire. But Morrison wasn't finished. He transmitted a message that every species in the Confederation still remembered verbatim. We are children of a world that has been trying to murder us since we developed consciousness. We have been prey and predator, victim and survivor. We have learned that sometimes, the only way to achieve peace is to be so terrifyingly effective at war that no one dares to start one. The Scar withdrew completely. The Orlani were saved. And the galaxy's understanding of Deathworlders changed forever. Now, 3 cycles later, Zektar prepared to formally welcome humanity into the Confederation as full members. The motion had passed unanimously, not out of respect for human achievements, but out of carefully calculated fear. As the human delegation's ship appeared on his sensors, Zektar whispered an old Aquarian prayer for peaceful waters. The Deathworlders had stopped playing nice, and the galaxy would never be the same.